My stepfather made my son eat out on the porch at every holiday for 3 years because he chews too loud. This Thanksgiving, I set one table outside and let everyone find their seats. My son Eli is 9. He has a sensory processing disorder, which means when he chews with his whole mouth, loud and wet, and he can't help it. My stepfather Roger decided 3 years ago that this was unacceptable at his table. The first Thanksgiving, Roger stood up mid-meal, dropped his fork, and said, "I can't eat listening to that, it's disgusting." Then he looked at me. "Take him outside." I said no. My mother put her hand on my wrist under the table and whispered, "Please, just this once. Don't make today about him." So I took my plate and Eli's plate and we ate on the porch in November, and I told myself it was one time. Every Easter, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, Roger would clear his throat the second we sat down and say, "You know where he goes," and my mother would look at her lap, and I would carry 2 plates out to the cold porch while 14 people ate inside where it was warm. Eli stopped asking why. That's the part that broke me. This past summer he said, "It's okay, Mom, I like the porch better anyway," and he said it in the flat little voice kids use when they've decided not to want something so it can't hurt them. I called my mother in October. "Is Roger still doing the porch thing at Thanksgiving?" "Sweetheart, it's just easier. You know how he is about sounds." So Eli sits outside. He doesn't mind. "You said yourself he likes it out there." I said okay. I said I'd handle the seating this year, since she always ran herself ragged hosting. She was thrilled. "Oh, would you?" Roger's back has been terrible, so I hosted. At my house. Thanksgiving Day I set one table. I set it on the back deck, under the pergola, with the good tablecloth and the folding space heaters I'd rented and every place setting we owned. 14 chairs. 1 table. Outside. Inside, the dining room was empty. Bare table, no plates, nothing. They arrived at 4 p.m. Roger came in stamping his feet, rubbing his hands. "Cold out there. Glad we're inside." He headed for the dining room and stopped in the doorway. "Where's everything set?" "Out back," I said. "On the deck." He turned around slow. "It's 40 degrees out." "I know. I rented heaters. Why in God's name would we eat outside?" I handed him a plate. "Because that's where this family eats. I just made it the whole table this year instead of a 2-person section." My mother came in behind him. "Honey, I think there's been a mix-up. The table's not set in here." "There's no mix-up. Everyone's outside." Eli set the place cards himself. Roger's face went red. "This is a stunt. You did this on purpose." "I did." I kept my voice level. "For 3 years you've made a 9-year-old eat in the cold because of a disability he can't control. I wanted you to know exactly what that feels like before you eat a single bite of my food. I'm not sitting outside in the cold like somewhat, Roger?" I let it hang. Like some little boy. The room had gone quiet. My aunt was standing by the door with her coat still on. My cousin had his phone half out. Everyone was watching Roger's mouth open and close. My mother tried to smooth it. "Let's all just go sit down and I'm not making anyone go outside. The door's open. There are 14 chairs and 1 table and it's on the deck. Same as it's been for my son at your house every holiday for 3 years. If it's good enough for Eli, it's good enough for the man who put him there." Roger jabbed a finger at me. "You are unbelievable. Making a scene, embarrassing your mother." "I'm not making anyone eat in the cold, Roger. That was always your job." He looked around for backup. My aunt looked at the floor. My uncle suddenly found the ceiling very interesting. Nobody moved to defend him, because when you say it out loud, a grown man exiling a disabled child to a porch, there is nothing to defend. Roger grabbed his coat off the hook. "We're leaving. Come on, Diane." My mother didn't move. She was staring at the empty dining room table, then at the deck door, and I watched something land on her face that should have landed 3 years ago. "Diane?" Roger's voice cracked. "Now." She looked at me. Then she looked at Eli, who had come to stand in the doorway holding his own place card, the one he'd drawn a turkey on. "Where do you want me to sit, baby?" she asked him. And Eli pointed outside.